Searching for a home today in the Southwest Florida real estate market is a little bit like trying to find a needle in a haystack, right? So today I want to share with you 5 tips that you can implement right away to help you cut your search time and your frustration down by half. The first thing that I like to talk about is budget. If you don't know how much that you want to spend or that you can afford to purchase a home, then you're really putting yourself at a disadvantage right from the start. Imagine that you go onto realtor.com and you just look at every home that is available in Port Charlotte. You could get listings from $100,000 to over $1 million and literally be looking at thousands of homes. That could take forever. Not only that, you're really allowing yourself to have to choose from pictures because you have no idea what you can actually afford. So let's say you're looking at all the pictures of homes and you find one that you really love. You click on those and you look at the pictures on the inside of the home, and it's like, yep, 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 this is it. It has a great kitchen. It has a pool in the backyard, a great view. It was built in 2024. I mean, this is it, right? Then you look at the price and it's way over your budget. I mean, how is any other home supposed to compete with that now that you have psyched yourself up to buy something that is out of your budget? So there are 2 things that you can do with narrowing down what that amount is. First of all, sit down and figure out how much you can afford comfortably on a monthly mortgage payment. Take that payment and talk to a loan officer and just ask them, with this monthly payment, let's say it's $2,500 a month, how much home can I purchase? And they will give you a number. Now, there are going to be other things that factor into that, like taxes and HOAs, but you can get a general feeling of what you're comfortable with. Also, if you're paying cash for a home, I would suggest talking to your financial advisor ahead of time and knowing how much you're comfortably willing to pull out of an account. That way, when you're out there looking for a home, you're not finding something that you fall in love with and saying, oh, I have to go talk to my financial advisor. I'm not sure if this is going to work for me. The second thing that I'd like to talk about is the community and whether or not you want an HOA or non-HOA. With an HOA community, you are likely going to get amenities and services that are not offered in a non-HOA community. So, for example, HOAs will typically have the yard service included in the monthly fee, and that could range anywhere from mowing, blowing, edging, pulling weeds, doing fertilizing, maybe even watering your grass and doing mulch one time a year, even trimming bushes. In the non-HOA community, you're left to do that yourself or to hire someone to do that. And I know from experience, a lot of the landscapers around here will only just mow, blow, and edge. And maybe it's $40 a week, maybe it's $50 a week. Anything extra is a little extra. The other thing that a community with an HOA offers is the amenities. So, do you want a community pool? Do you want to have access to pickleball club, tennis courts, maybe a fitness center? Communities all offer different things, but if you really figure out what it is that you want and then kind of narrow down which communities offer that, it's going to make it a lot easier for yourself. Now, compare what the cost would be if you didn't have the HOA paying for all of that. So if you're interested in a fitness center and working out, how much is that going to cost you per month to have a gym membership? If you don't have a pool, a community pool, and you want to put a pool in your backyard, if the resale home doesn't already come with a pool in the backyard, how much is it going to cost? I have heard pools costing around $100,000 now, and they aren't financed. So you might have to consider that as a cash out of pocket expense. The third thing is, do you want to buy a new home or a resale home? In Florida, the building codes change about every 3 years, and there's a possibility that they could be amended every year. So when you're buying a brand new home, you know that you're getting a home that's built with relatively new codes, depending on whether you're buying brand new or maybe 2024, 2023. On a resale home, if you're buying something that was built 10, 20, 30 years earlier, not only are you stuck with older building codes, but now you're also having to consider what is the cost if you have to replace something, right? So think about what the cost is to replace the roof, the water heater, HVAC. If you have to redo the lining of a pool, there are so many expenses to just consider when you're talking about buying a resale. The fourth thing that I like to talk about is a little different, but I still think that it's worth mentioning is how do you feel when you are looking at these homes? If you're walking into a resale home or a community, do you get a good feeling when you walk in the door? Do you like the layout? Could you see yourself living there? The same with a brand new home. Do you like the community? Do you like the layout? Are you able to drive around and get a sense of the people that live in the community? If there's a community pool or a community center, a clubhouse, can you walk around and meet the people that live there and ask them questions and see how happy they are? Do you see yourself fitting into that community of people that live there? And the last thing that I always like to talk about, which is super important, is do you have a home to sell before you can buy your next home? I hear a lot of people say, I have to sell my home. It's not on the market, but I have to know where I'm moving to first before I list my home. And I will tell you, there's so much inventory out here between resales and new construction. If you had your home listed today and you got an offer tomorrow, I guarantee you would have 20, 30, 40 homes to choose from that you could move into within 30 days if you had to. But it's always a good idea to go ahead and have that conversation with a local real estate agent in your area and find out what your home is worth. What do they think that they could list for? And how quickly do they think that it could sell? That way, when you're coming to Florida and looking for a home, you'll kind of have all of that information gathered so that you can make an informed decision. So I hope all of this was helpful. Go ahead and start the process today. Figure out your budget. Figure out if you want an HOA or a non-HOA community. Do you want a brand new home or do you want an existing home? How do you feel when you walk around in that layout? And do you have a home to sell that you need to have a conversation with the local agent about first? If you have any comments or questions, leave them below. I respond to everything and I will help you any way that I can.